on her way. True GOAT.
I don't think you guys have seen my full potential yet. And I'm really excited to show it. It was in the closed beta. A bunch of my friends were recommending that I try it with them. The first Asian I played, I think, was Phoenix or Brimstone. I was like the worst out of all my friends. I would go like 1 in 16. I started like playing a lot of death matches. Like one act, I was like plat and I was stuck for like 9 months. And I just started like death matching every day, like 6 hours. I started seeing like a lot of improvement then. I think deathmatch helped me get better because it's like in the maps that you actually play in.
I think the moment that stood out the most with Floor was last year in Brazil at Champs in the finals against Liquid map 5. Mal was obviously like very sick with COVID, and then she couldn't speak that much. Floor was like 17 back then, and she was the one that like was calming everyone down and like just getting everyone to chill and breathe because we were like this close to winning. I think she's like low-key very funny. People don't know that about her. She's like super chill. She doesn't get nervous at all.
Inside, yeah, but outside sometimes I can like troll. But inside I'm always pretty calm. I don't really get nervous. It's funny to like troll. If like my teammate says don't peek, and sometimes I peek. I do that in tournaments too because it's funny. And you have to have fun or else it's not worth it.
I did watch Florescent play at Game Changers, and she popped off, you know. it was really nice to see. It was like, look, that's our fifth, that's our player, that's our duelist right there.
I watched some of Apex games in Polaris, and then I also watched in Ascension. They asked me, and I already knew that I was going to be in Berlin for Champs, so I just decided, yeah, it would be cool to just try and see. We all 5 have played together with Batu as well, so yeah, I think it's good. I think we play well together.
I thought she's good, but I really didn't think like that. But when I played with her, she's really so insane, so real like.
As long as I'm playing with like people I like, I can have fun. I met them like not in person for the first time during the trials, and yeah, I seemed to get along with them pretty well. And then I met them all in person for the first time yesterday.
You know, we're not just playing for ourselves anymore. Like we're showcasing that the top game changer players deserve to have a chance in Tier 1.
If you're a good enough player, obviously you're gonna get picked up by it. It doesn't matter what they are, as long as you're good in the game.
I really don't care what people say about me or about Floor. I mean, just focus on us and that's it.
At the beginning it's gonna be hard, as I said, but I think we're gonna improve with every month.
She has the potential to match the top duelists in Europe.
I wouldn't call her mini Kayak, I would just call her Fluorescent. She's her own player. I don't think Kayak is better than her.
I think she's not human.
I think like we're gonna see our team on the big stage.
It's going to be a big show, you know.
I like sleeping, and I like listening to music, and I like eating food. I've just been like doing the same stuff I do every day. If I wouldn't be in esports, I would probably just be an accountant because my brother is one, and it's just a really safe job in general.
What do you find interesting about it?
Nothing's interesting about accounting.
Words have been spoken before. That is right. We are just about 15 minutes away from seeing Floor on that stage. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Yingsu. I'm now joined by Kakuka and Soulcast, not from Apex, but from Movistar Koi this time around. But of course, your former team is going to be playing in just a moment. How are you feeling about their chances?
Super excited to see. It's always fun to see like your ex-teammates play, and then especially watching Floor play. Like I'm super excited what she's going to be able to do. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like another just insane game from her, like she always does. So yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Have you seen any like Floor frag movies yet? You know what she's capable of?
Oh, it's like I've got like a Wikipedia in my head of every single clips she has. I know. I watch everything she posts. You know, it's insane.
I know she comments on your stuff too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's super nice and kind of like, you know, it feels good, you know, as well that like she appreciates some of my stuff and I appreciate like her stuff. So
Go recognizes go.
Yeah, exactly. Is it my moment to go?
Yeah.
So yeah, like a month ago we were here. All celebrating Game Changers Championship, and for the second year in a row, Fluorescent got the MVP. I am extremely excited. I'm also very honored that it's going to be in our region, that we have the first player from Game Changers joining main VCT, and I'm very happy that it's Floor, because I think that she grinded her way to the top.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? I love that you mentioned that she's world champion, because we do have a few world champions in our league, but a world champion where she won here.
Recency bias.
Yeah, in this studio, by the way, like 2 months ago. And if you're wondering why she might not be wearing her bracelet today, the MVP one, it is getting resized right now. She's taking care of it.
I was kind of hoping that she was going to go onto that stage. We know it's not very on brand for her, but you kind of have to.
You
like,
have to.
Nobody in this region has that bracelet.
I was about to say, yeah, you just win a clutch, you're like...
Yeah, there we go. Hold it up.
There is no sit down.
There's no sit down. You just show the bracelet.
There's nothing.
Like, I'll let this talk.
Yeah, and this is the other thing, though. During Game Changers, when Floor first came onto the scene, we were very, very hyped. You know, we have some players where people like to call, you know, onliners, maybe they can't play on LAN, but she is the opposite of this, because Kakuka, somehow she's better on LAN.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that she thrives in this kind of environment. She's also been very vocal about it. Like, she wants to come to these events. She wants to be in person. She wants to lift the trophies. She was the, you know, out of all the people that we have in the studio, she was the last one to lift the trophy here. And I think she's very ready to do it again. Of course, it's a new challenge. It's a new frontier for her.
Yeah, and I want to say her in an Apex jersey as well. I can't get used to it, but I really want to get used to it, because there's a reason why we're so excited to see what she can do. But I want to ask you real quick, because of course, Kayak was the one that did win Ascension with Apex. What do you think kind of differentiates a player like Kayak and Floor? Maybe there's some similarities there.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to see, like, you know, because I think with Floor and Kayak, I think they both can just shoot incredibly well, and we both saw that and we both know that, and I think it's more down to how she kind of is behind the scenes, you know, with the team, how the vibes are, and like what she brings, you know, in the serve in terms of comms and stuff, and I think that's kind of, it's going to be hard to kind of dictate, because I think we know, you know, probably going to be some pop-off games, and Kayak also had that, so that role's like fine in aspects in terms of frags. So I think it's mainly just down to kind of the behind-the-scenes stuff and vibes.
The vibes.
Yeah, not only that, I think that Floor was thriving in an environment where we have to say Shopify Rebellion had some of the best plans. Like, everything was so well drilled. The plans were meticulously studied. All the utility was falling onto place. But she is also the kind of player that can go outside of the pack and just go completely free, completely unknown. She has that versatility. Again, I want to see how it is on a different environment.
Do you think that is something that can be created in Apex? How much of that comes down to, you know, some of the more veteran players, maybe Avova, maybe Molzy, being able to create that for her?
Yeah, I think she seems like, and from what I've heard, she just seems like a super just chill person, and just like, you know, I feel like she'll fit in pretty well with them, because I know, yeah, from playing with the rest of the boys from last year, you know, it's like they're just honestly such goofy like people, and it's just like, I think she's gonna fit in super well. And like, also I know like from hearing from Flyer that, you know, she's also like pretty close with like Odorous, I think, before, like they kind of know each other, so I think she also feels comfort in that, which kind of will probably open her up a bit more, and I think it'll like be a quite nice environment for her.
Yeah, and again, she's just a LAN player, you know, this is not her first time on the stage or first time at LAN, so that's not going to be a problem. In terms of vibes though, I feel like there are a couple of people that have very much vibed with Floor, and of course that is her former teammates and coach as well. Mel, we see you. I know you're excited. Shout out to Roy, by the way. I know you guys are watch partying. You're so excited to see Floor make her debut. Effie's also commented about this move to Apex as well. And this is the thing. Everybody, not just Shopify. I think Daiki make some tweets as well. Everybody, Kakuka, are unanimously behind Floor, supporting her and excited to see her take the stage.
And this is just continuing where we left it last year. For Floor, this is exactly what she wanted. After she won that MVP, that I think unanimously everybody said she deserved, this was the next step for her. She wanted to get into VCT. She wanted to do it with a good team, and we don't have to wait. We barely even have to wait a month and a half.
Yeah, and I think normally when a player leaves, or your star player leaves, it can be a little bit of like, oh, but everyone on her team is like, go kill it. You do,
Not
like,
only in her
do
team,
it,
like
go.
it's everywhere. It doesn't matter who you're supporting. It doesn't matter. I even think that Mates fans, especially today, even if they're playing against it, it doesn't really matter. I think that we are proven that we have a system, we created a system, and it's working.
Yeah, there is added pressure though, and we are going to go through this right now because as you guys know, this will be the first year at the end of this year that our Ascension teams that have qualified through that tournament could potentially relegate or maybe stay for another year. There's a few scenarios we'll see. There's a few stakes as well as you guys take a look at this graphic behind me. So I'm going to go through them one by one with you guys. If an Ascension team, so in our case, Apex and Gentlemates, make it to Champions, they will extend their term for another year. If both of them make it to Champions and the team with the best performance at the tournament will stay, well, the other one will have the option to compete at Ascension for their spot to come back. Now, if Ascension teams finish top 8 in our league, they will earn a chance to defend their spot. They will need to play in Ascension, however, against the up-and-coming Challengers teams and see if they can re-earn their spot in the International League or fall back into Challengers. Last but not least, when it comes to relegation, if a team fails to make it to stage 2 of playoffs, the playoffs of stage 2 even, they will relegate back down to their respective Challenger League. And if both Ascension teams are relegated, we will bring 2 new teams and give them a shot at dethroning the best. I am very sorry, there was a lot of information there.
Yes.
But all you need to know, all the Floor fans, all you need to know is if you are supporting Apex and Floor here, the best and easiest way that she could stay for another year is to make it to Champs. Do we think that that is possible?
Yes, 100%.
Yes, Tom, I love that.
I think it's going to be difficult. I don't think it's because of her or the team. I think that we are seeing during Kickoff that is going to be a tough year. There's been a lot of changes and staying on top. We saw it last year, even with the performance that Casey had at the beginning of the year, they weren't able to keep that kind of level. Even though the season is a little bit more spread out and there's going to be some breaks, we know that you have to stay on top of too many things to think that you can make it that far coming from the bottom.
I mean, what a story it will be, though,
Yes.
if they do. If they do. But of course, it is the exact same thing for Gentlemates. If they are able to make champs with their new roster, then their chances of staying here is pretty much locked in for the next time. But let's talk about their chances when it comes to the changes. They managed to keep just Kara, Kukuka, but complete rebuild outside of that.
Yeah, exactly. I think Mini is a player that was very much, Mini the player, not Mini, not Coach Mini. I think that most of the teams wanted him because of the impression that he had coming from Go Next. Zippen, we know him. It's the first time that we're going to see him separated from Navi, but it's the player on the center of your screen, well, now on the side, is Robbie, that I think everybody has their eyes on as well. Coming to IGL, and apparently
Bloody
the
hell.
Jesus.
Yes. You reckon you could take him, Dom?
Jesus.
Bro, he's massive. Look at the screen. Like, he's like 70 inches tall. I don't think I can.
But I'm glad you mentioned him because I think you're right. A lot of people had their eyes on him. Are you familiar with Robbie at all?
No, not too much. I've seen him like in the tier 2 and stuff, but yeah, I think this anyway in general, like this roster seems like a pretty like well-rounded like roster. It's like it's not gonna be like, you know, the biggest like names you've ever seen, but I think they have very good players, and I think it's a pretty solid roster, and I think Robbie will do pretty well with him.
Yeah, a lot of people have kind of put them as like a dark horse, maybe even pushing top 4 at this point. Why do you think that is?
I think it makes sense. There's a lot of talent that is coming in from tier 2 for the first time. We have some recruiting and coming back talent that we are very happy to have back. But it's normal that this is going to happen. You're going against so many established players, orgs, teams, and protocols that when you put all of this together, also bringing in a coach like GoKid, who was in the region, went to Americas, came back, obviously. There's too many questions, and you're working from too little. You can amount to a lot, but the beginning is going to be very rough.
Give us a bit of a context of GoKid, because obviously I feel like you're going to have some inside info, who he is, what's he like?
He's a great guy, first of all, from Jaén, next to my city, which I love. Spanish, obviously.
He's Andalusia?
Andalusia, he's from Andalusia, obviously.
Okay.
And I love it. Thank you very much, Tom. But yeah, he has a lot of experience back in Koi, back in Spain a lot. We saw him last year going on to Leviathan, so we know that he has a long trajectory. He has learned a lot. And you know how some coaches are a little bit more like enablers, like they will help you achieve your potential, and some of them will work from the bottom with you, like giving you the scraps, giving you the basic of the fundamentals. He's that kind of guy. He's the second type. So I think this kind of team fits him better than a team that has already learned a lot of things.
Are you rooting for Gentlemates a little bit because a Spanish coach making it to Paris champs with the French team?
Juancar is also with him.
Yeah, so is that bridging the fan base, you think? Maybe bringing Spain and France a bit closer?
Absolutely not. Never. Never. I don't think we're ever crossing that bridge. I mean, we might cross it to go to Paris once one of our three organizations make it.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Of course, I mean, you're on Koi now. I feel like now you can feel the love of the Spanish fans, right?
Somos Koi.
Yeah, how good's your Spanish?
Don't even ask.
Oh,
yo, Felix was great. Was it Felix?
Yeah, he says cazuela. Isn't that like pot or something? It's just like a plant pot. Yeah, it's his favorite word, which is the most random thing. But yeah, we know random words that make no sense.
Yeah, but that's the point. That's how you learn a language. You do not have to be ashamed of, am I going to say it wrong? Am I going to sound like an idiot? No, like, sometimes I sound like an idiot in English. Do you think I care?
Oh, very rarely. But I can whip out the Shadows Tejo is not pendejo. Does that work?
Pendejo. No.
Yeah, there you go. It just means his Tejo is not stupid. Yeah. You take that back with you. You take that back with you. But on the other side, let's talk about the rest of this Apex roster. But because they are coming into this with a stand-in, it is not their full roster. And in these situations, Dom, you will know as any player, it can be tricky.
Yeah, I think, obviously, at least it's, the analyst, he's played before, and it's also that he kind of knows how the team functions in terms of like the strats and everything. He's worked with the coaches and the players. It's not like going to be plucking out some random guy to just play and like kind of just don't really you need more time to also like get all the reps of all the strats and everything. But he's kind of been there working with the strats, working with the IGL and stuff. So I think it won't be too hard of a fit. But obviously it depends on how well they can shoot and stuff. So we'll see.
I think that we've had so many questions, because we barely have had any news of what was going to be of Apex, like how I understand, okay, after announcing Floor, nothing that you announce is going to top that. It is what it is. But we've had some questions. We still have them onto how the roster is going to look in the end and when we're going to see it fully. But now that we have you here, Dom, what did you think of the chances, or what do you think are the biggest strengths of the core that stayed?
I think it's just how well they work with each other. Because I think for us, it's like, the synergy even in the micro kind of situations. I think that's what, from last year when playing with them, like that we kind of thrived in. It's like these small kind of like, in the little pairs and the small packs. It's like, I feel like they kind of have it down. It's like the synergy just feels naturally there. And I know in general, it's just like a really fun environment. And I know that it just helps like players just play a lot better, and especially like, Floor and Odorous to feel more comfortable. So I think that's kind of the strength, and also they have good shooters. Like Avova's an insane smoker, so I think they do have like the recipe to have like some good wins.
I'm so down for Avova prime time again.
Oh,
like back in like 2020, 2021 when he was like the king.
Hey, we saw some of that last year. I felt like he was back to his prime.
It was thanks to me because I unlocked it. No, it's because I told him he was using some really bad like crosshair. It was some really old like it looked like an observer crosshair. It's like some basic kind of crosshair. I was like, no, go to like a dot. You're like an aimer. And as soon as he went to the dot, we called it the black hole, and he just hit everything.
All right,
that.
I need you to give me some tips after this, but for now, the wait is over. It is the Ascension Champions Apex alongside the one and only Fluorescent.
With me.
Now that is a beautiful trophy, but this is not where they're going to be playing for this year. There is a spot up for grabs for the first Masters and of course Champions at the end of the year as well. I'm very sorry that I didn't give Gentlemen enough of an intro, but it is Floor. But this is the thing that with Gentlemen, they can come in here with a very solid map pick right off the bat. I'm really interested to see what the map pool is going to go for them, because I do feel like there's some tendency we've seen from Apex, you know, some comfort picks that you could really easily anti-strat at this point. So guys, I would be surprised if we don't see the Haven.
Yeah, I think, this map pool, it's like, I think is quite similar to what we was kind of probably playing like last year with this core. It's a nice stomach from Molzy. So what do you think is
the do's and don'ts?
Do's, I can't stop looking at that stomach, Molzy.
Oh no!
What?
Oh no, but yeah.
It's too tired.
Okay, they insta-pick the Haven. I mean, expected, right?
Yeah, I think, with Apex, you know, I'm kind of more surprised about letting Bind kind of slip through. I think Haven, I think it's a good, like, from like the core last year, and I think maybe what they were cooking this year, I think the players were probably enjoying Haven a bit more, so we have more of a looser map. But I think with Bind, I think, you know, I'm kind of a bit more surprised because last year, you know, we'd been that map for the whole year, so I don't know what came in. Maybe Odorous was like some superhero came in with some magic, but yeah.
So Pearl is going to be the first map. We did not get to see your Pearl today. We did see some, let's say, different compositions that we will definitely dive into some other time when it's about you. But what do you make of the map, and what do you think it's some composition that could be a little wacky, but you would like to see out there?
Yeah, I think definitely like this year is going to be like the biggest shakeup in terms of like the meta and like what comps people will see, because we're already seeing like a lot of variety in comps and like people trying more stuff with the certain nerfs that happen. So I think, you know, we could even see like sometimes like some teams that I've played against, I'm not going to say who, but you know, sometimes even some double senties, or even like, you know, there's going to be a lot more of like variance in terms of comps. So I'm interested to see what these guys will pick.
What are your thoughts on Phoenix on this map?
Yeah.
You vibe with it?
Yeah, no, I've seen some Phoenix gameplay, some teams were maybe even running, and I think it's like...
if Zipan pulls out, I'm going to lose my mind.
I think it's pretty good. I think the major thing that people like is because of the wall change. It's kind of like a pseudo like harbor thing, and I've seen it's like quite easy to actually use it.
Well, let's take a look at the agent select and see what we're going to get. It is going to be no Phoenix, but I just want to quickly address the duelist on the other side, because Click is incredibly impressive. His stats are insane. He had a great off-season as well, and he's definitely going to be a pretty difficult challenge for Floor right off the bat.
Absolutely. Lovely to have a German here in Berlin, but as you're saying, him coming from SK Gaming, back in that, yes, they didn't make it very far in Ascension, but it just proves that there was a good scouting when it comes to players.
Yeah, and it looks like on the side of Apex, pretty comfortable, right? Comfort picks.
Yeah, it's pretty vanilla kind of comps here, but I think, you know, I mean, don't fix what's not broken in a way. It's like, yeah, I think it's like a well-rounded comp, you know, it's like...
You like the boring stuff.
It's a bit rich coming from you after that comp on Abyss that was like, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they could have, you know, spiced up a bit more, but like, I think it's well-rounded, you know. If you want to play like that, do it, but
yeah, and
it works.
And it feels like Odorous is just kind of slotting in. He has played before, you know, this is not like a crazy situation for him. Any predictions, Dom, before we let you go? How do you think this series is going to go?
Ooh, I think it's a tough one. I would say it'd be a 2-1 to Apex.
Oh, okay.
I'll try out there.
They're winning on Bind?
Yeah.
Even though you just said
yeah,
that.
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, for them to leave it in, someone must have came in with some magic and magically fixed the whole Bind game plan. So I don't know. We'll see.
So do you think they have what it takes to like close it on a map number 3? Like, you make it until there, things are a bit shaky, but the longer the match goes, the stronger you get?
Yeah, Floor.
Oh, okay.
Do you think her floor is still their ceiling?
I feel like that is the most convincing argument you can make in any situation. Like, oh yeah, Apex is why Floor? Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a complete great take. But I don't think Gentlemen should be underestimated in this situation.
Absolutely
they have a solid IGL. Their duelist player is absolutely crazy, but also Kada. He was phenomenal last year given the circumstances.
Absolutely, coming in at the mid-season, we know how it is. We also saw it in Giant X and how that paid for them, but especially going into this first map and with the agents that we saw, almost everyone is best in slot, right? Floor, of course, is going to be on the duelist. You have probably very comfortable playing on the Sova Mini with. It's so weird saying
He's
it.
gonna cast Mini.
I know. Oh my God, Mini's gonna cast Mini.
Mini's gonna have to cast Mini. I feel like I don't know, maybe when Lauren's talking about Mini, he might get confused. Yeah, we'll see in a bit. But of course, it's because Pansy and Mini are waiting for us right now. We have a small delay. Who would have guessed? Definitely not me. But what's your prediction, Kakuka?
I want to say, and especially after we saw what we saw yesterday from BBL, that sometimes having a sub, if the plan is there, is not going to be that detrimental. And as we're saying, it's not like Odorous is a stranger to the game, or that hasn't played and has gone on to a different thing. If he was there designing the plan from the beginning, I think it's going to be a little bit of a Zeiss situation where he went in and actually things looked better because the pressure was off them. I want to see that kind of underdog take coming from them. Do you think like there's no pressure? We are so lucky, quote unquote, to have our first match with no pressure.
Do you reckon we'll ever have a day on this show where we don't talk about Zeish? Is that ever gonna happen?
I have to say, in the past 2 years, well, I have to say, ever since I have known Zeish, I do not think I've gone to any Valorant event, activation, anything where he has not been there. Doesn't matter where in the world.
I'm expecting him, to show up at the vets when I'm taking my cats there because he's just always everywhere. Before we derail everything here, of course, I mean, like I said, there's a lot on the line. There's the added pressure of staying in this league. There's added pressure of having to qualify for champs. Soulcast, how do you not think about that? How do you make sure you're on the server, you kind of take away all of that narrative and all of that white noise and focus on what's in front of you?
Yeah, I think at first it can be quite difficult. I was like, obviously, maybe when you play, before you get on the stage and everything, maybe some thoughts will come into your head. But a lot of the time, like the main thing that everyone kind of says and like they drill into your head is like, just stay in the present. Like only control what you can control. Like if you lose games, it's like, and you're thinking too much about champs and this and that expectations. You're gonna probably lose more than you're winning. So I think you always have to literally just stay in the present, just control what you control. It's pretty cliche, but I think that's like the main kind of recipe that people should have, especially when you're playing these big stages and stuff.
Yeah, and as someone who, you had to kind of fight your way back from tier 2 as well, how scary or maybe how much anxiety is there at the possibility of relegation, having to come back again? How difficult was that?
Yeah, no, it was pretty difficult, but I think like once you get into the game, somehow it's kind of like you kind of just really do just get focused on in the game. You kind of forget about everything just fades away in your mind. And because I remember even when I was playing on that final match of the year in Ascension, I kind of sat there and I was like, I don't feel like too much pressure for some reason. I feel like I should, but like sometimes you naturally kind of become a bit more looser if you kind of just let yourself be looser.
That's because you're made for it.
You got that. Right, we are ready to jump into game. Could you do me the pleasure, Dom, to toss this over to your casters, Pansy and Mini?
Yeah, let's toss this to Pansy and Gentlemates Mini.
That was cold. That was pretty nasty. I mean, fantastic toss form there, Dom. Lovely work from you. Seems very practiced. However, we do get to focus on this one. It's probably one of the most anticipated debuts of a single player we've ever seen. Fluorescent joining up with Apex, but of course, that will be our main focus, Mini. But we need to kind of pivot a little bit. The desk alluded to it. They were discussing the Gentlemates have a little bit of whispers about them. This team seems to have a little bit of recognition. People putting them in the top 4s here. Do you see that potential with their roster?
I think this is absolutely the dark horse team in EMEA right now. I think that individually, players like Click been on my radar for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But I think Robbie BK is probably the player that we need to talk about. He was on my scouting list for a potential Fnatic Academy.
You're going to get a little glimpse of that list at some point.
He wasn't even going to be the IGL, which talks about the firepower that he potentially has. But everything I've heard about this guy has been fantastic in terms of his leadership. So I'm very excited for this one.
All eyes on her. Fluorescent on the attacking side here to kick things off. Let's see how this looks. A lot of pressure on a young player as well, something we have to highlight. This is not going to be an easy performance. Eye test, people might underestimate Gentlemates, but as said, there's a lot of talent in this roster. And now we have to see with that stand-in as well of Odorous, that's not going to be an easy scenario to work through, but a very patient beginning.
Yeah, just your standard A main, go grab that orb. No contestation. Contestation? Sure. Yeah, we'll go for it. But I will see if this becomes their standard default. I expect mates to kind of punish us later, but for now, no read. but potentially.
Yeah,
something.
this is a little bit sketchy here. We still have that Killjoy util. Floor gonna head forward, gonna look for that first fight, but already Gentlemates the best they can. That's a 3-to-1 trade out here. Mid is still under their banner. They control the vast majority of the map, and Click getting active. Stunner towards Avova as Molesy, the last one alive. Not much for him to do here. A rough scenario. Looking to flood out. Perfect work from Gentlemates. Very aware, well controlled, and that little bit of a crunch through connector.
Yeah, I mean, Apex rolled the dice and they rolled low. Yeah. They've ran straight into a two-man stab on that B-Link, and tight choke point, there's not a lot that Floor's going to do despite that dash to kind of disrupt that crossfire. It's very good.
Lovely work from Gentlemates. They'll be happy with that. Nice way to get the ball rolling here. This is their map choice, so keep that in your minds, of course. And as this, I don't want to say it's a throwaway round, but again, we are going to be seeing just kind of classics here for Apex. I do want to talk to you a little bit about activating a star player like Fluorescent, right? You've had the likes of Durka join your team. How do you put them in those pressure scenarios and try and get them to operate as best they can, right? Isn't there that worry that if it falls short, does it knock the confidence? How do you guys, or you guys previously, navigate around that?
I think there's a difference when Durka first joined the team compared to when we were kind of working with him, you know, last year, for instance. So I think that, you know, this is a new environment, a new team, and I want to call a spade a spade. Like, most people think Apex is going to be one of the weaker teams in this league. So I think that we have to kind of look at our win conditions here. I think Fluorescent has to go nuclear.
Yes.
And I've seen the development of Floor, like this year at Champs, like she was playing very disciplined, but I think as a coach I'd be just letting her loose, like playing on that comfort, like she's on the jet, playing the comfort, but also just like if there's any ideas that she had, like with Durka, like when he came to the team, if he had any ideas that he wanted to do, I was just all for it. Like I wasn't gonna
let him take that space.
Let him do it. And then if there was anything that we wanted to collaborate on, we'd do that together. But you know, throughout the years I kind of reined in a little.
Yeah, you get to kind of get that balancing act, right?
At the start, you know, let him carry. Or let Floor carry.
That's what we're going to have to see if she can actually do it. For now, this is clean work. You want to be seeing kind of, at most they'd want to lose is one. This is actually quite an invested round here from Gentlemates. That Bulldog, the two Vandals, and the Outlaw here. Click, trying to build his confidence too. A young player himself, high on the list of a couple teams out there, looking like someone to keep their eyes on. Let's see how he performs in this one, though. Already looking sharp. Potentially a spike plant would be fantastic for them. Down very low on time here. That knife will show intent. Stunner from Molesy though. Okay, Zipan's gone down. That should be a plant. Floor just going to buy a little bit of time here. Make sure that plant goes in. Isolating Kadabra would be great, but tricky. Flash there. Nice! Floor picking up the Vandal. Hold on. There was a moment to shine. It would be now. Observers, we're going to teach you a real big lesson here. We stay on Floor, don't we? That's already 2 this round, but can there be more? Click and Mini, this is already a costly round. Can they play selflessly? Can they play her in? Avova, Molesy on one side, tap on the spike, they've got to respond. Floor, so close! Click outdoes just at the end. Almost bought the time. Just a glimpse of things to come here potentially. Second round for Gentlemates, but that cost them a fortune.
But it was Nico. It was Nico from Floor. Like that's what we need to see early on. I was worried about the pistol, no momentum from the pistol, but that's the kind of round that we can pick up momentum from. Even though it's the loss, like Floor's going to be pretty good after that. Feeling pretty good after that one. Oof.
And look, it's a little BM to the other teams, but I've honestly seen Floor pull more fans to this arena than some of the other teams in this league. So shout out to whoever turned up with just the Floor signs. Love that. The Gentlemates teams, they turn up as well. So we've actually got a good crowd for this one. Absolutely love to see it. And you can see that knock-on effect here, Mini. They're going to be suffering financially. Sheriff's coming out. They do have the 2-0 lead for Gentlemates, so they'll be happy enough with that. But Apex looking quite simplistic in approach here if they continue down this pathing.
Yeah, a bit repetitive from Apex, but nothing to really worry about on the kind of buy that M8 have, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong region.
Kadabra, lovely towards Odorous. We've got some real heavy hitters in this game. You'll be seeing some shots coming through. And I like this re-clear towards middle, that readdress with the drone coming through with a little bit of everything. Hype's now going to be on a bit of red alert here.
Just playing off of that hero Vandal right now. Or the Vandal they have. Like those middle re-aggressions, you see them now and again, and I think this is the kind of round that you want to see it in.
It's lovely. For now, though, they can kind of fall back a little bit. They've pressured, they've postured.
But we can see the knife came in over towards the A side of the map here. It saw nothing, and we should see the fast rotation coming in now. Hopefully there's enough stall for this exec.
But already caught off here. Mini's in a little bit of trouble. Held off, at least for now, by the smoke. Keeps himself secure. Cleared out, though. Floor going to take towards backside. Look at the rest. Now we're going to see that hero Vandal coming through. They've identified it. They should now know where that resides. In the hands of Click, a plant is what they're prioritizing with 25 seconds. It's safe, it's in. 4v4. The scrap now begins. Click makes a bit of a meal of it, but Robbie's going to land. Floor, though, holds guard. Finds Zipan. The last two, you're looking at Kadabra, at least has a Phantom there. Could have done something. It's not to be. Floor still farming. And the first found for Apex here. We've got to see if they can continue now.
Yeah, the big test now. Equal economy.
Any ults to look at? What have we got? I mean, we've got the knives for Floor, 7-2 already. That's right in the pocket. Molzy only one away from his ult. That could be fantastic to get on. Nothing.
But here we can see already that their mates are looking to punish his A-main this time.
My God, bro.
Oops, sorry.
Let's see if we get a challenger. 4 players on A. That is so much presence here.
Trying to deny this KO ult.
Yeah. They know it's on the board.
3 suppressed.
So much util put down towards us. Look at the absolute littering of it. Floor trying to play safety. Turns! It's stunning! Again, more and more. Floor is on this 8-2. You thought it was just GC. You were wrong. Already showing off that prowess here. Should have some big info off that knife. And I think they're looking at the ult coming out. It's actually Odorous they've prioritized here. So he's got the ult ready to rock and roll. Molzy still one away. And look at the space they've gathered over towards that link side.
Yeah, it should be finished into a B split. It looks like a very strong finish for Apex here. They shouldn't really have too many problems. M8 not looking to rotate this quickly. It was all on Mini.
Yeah, this is so hard.
All on me.
Oh, and you're crumbling. Mini, gonna need a couple here. That's nice. A second, not to be, but tries to stall out. Takes away hype at least. But they've got a player advantage. They've got the site. I don't want to say full control because there's a little bit of a threat from Robbie here. Oh, it's beautiful. 2 for Robbie. Needs a bit more, though, of Over and Molzy. Can they lock it down here? Molzy stuck on the site. Can't really get out. Looking at Over to try and swing in, but suppressed. He's already been noted. And Molzy playing forward. I like that. Getting a little creative here in the post plant. Clears out lane as well. They've now got no idea where he slipped to. I don't know if that got spotted. This could be a big crossfire to hold. The first drops. It's Over to show hand first. It's lovely. This is big from Apex. Nice post plant set up here, but Kadabra can still undo it, but the time is ticking. This could be Apex's second or even a third now for Gentlemates. Let's wait and see. Kadabra can't find a target. The time has run too low, and Apex bring the scoreline back to 2 apiece.
Beautiful from Molzy there, as you highlighted. I like to call that one like the Nats. Nats
yeah,
just
slipping
little
through.
Slipping. Yeah, beautiful round. It's kind of not a great sign for mates that they've identified the win condition for the round. They tried to disrupt the A-main default that Apex are going for, but failing basically.
I'm getting in the groove, man.
So I'm not sure how they're going to punish that later, because Apex can just do that all day. But now it seems like they're just going to go for an anti-eco here.
Okay. We've been seeing a couple anti-ecos looking a bit shaky in some of those previous games. So let's see if we can keep it clean here. We do have a couple threats. Ghost for Kadabra, Sheriff out there for Mini. But nothing major. If Click gets the ball rolling, maybe can get the knives, who knows? But it's not there now, right? So this is just them kind of going through the paces.
Molzy here is doing a good job. He threw the knife towards A to create a little bit of pressure, but also getting caught by that knife too. So creating a bit of a question mark for mates, but they're not buying it at all. They got a rotation coming across.
Slow and steady this round. Again, you want to be crossing your T's, dotting the I's. But there are 5 players here now. This is where it gets threatening. Floor deciding it's time for the knives. Ult going to come in as well. Finds a target, doesn't find the shot she needed, and now suddenly there's a couple of problems. Gentlemates getting right into their faces. We said a couple small threats, but Kadabra makes it massive. Molzy now in a world of trouble. This was not clean. This is not what the doctor ordered. And now this could be magic. There's the recovered weapons too. This is perfect. Fortunately, at least for Molzy, does have the spike, but 30 seconds, you got to be running straight towards A now.
30 seconds
I mean, that gamble call was beautiful. I think they knew that, like, just because they called Molzy and they didn't see that util or players behind it, that it was a bit too obvious. So beautiful call. It's what we want to see from kind of, you know, those teams coming up. You know what I mean? That confidence.
Lovely. And it was kind of highlighting, again, something you were highlighting about Robbie as well. Good IGL here, but does have the firepower. You've got a lot of dangerous players on this Gentlemate side. Molzy, he went from uncomfortable to pretty tricky here. Both have rifles. Now Mini's HP is low, down to 20. Molzy, oh, the timing's egregious for him. Why are we getting the knife out? We don't know, but Mini will be loving that one. Gentlemates out of nowhere converting that round. But as you said, it kind of started with that gamble rotation, right place, right call, right time.
Yeah, and like the Killjoy ult coming in too, kind of giving them the confidence to play with it, kind of flood around it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Apex did anything terrible. I just think Mates had an actual pretty good eco.
Look at that. That was perfect from Kadabra. Pay safe card, thrifty there, tick in the box. Yeah, you're loving that one. That's a big confidence round, though. You know what I mean? That's got to feel so good.
I'm still getting a bit shaken every time you say Mini. It's really...
We'll ask him to change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll get on the phone.
I might have to change.
We've got a couple ults now. 3 pretty impactful ults actually already ready to go for Apex. And once again, we rinse and repeat towards this A main control. Maybe just to set the kind of standard, set the tempo and expectation. But look how deep ready Gentlemates are sitting. Maybe expecting some of these ults to come into effect.
Oh, a nice little strat. They're going to crunch towards the arc here.
And you can already see Mini's the one who's highlighted and has to dip away. Floor's taken the space, but it feels like Gentlemates were aware of the possibility of this. So they're sitting very passive, kind of giving up sight. Zipan, got to be careful with his life. Could have been spammed out there, but mostly stays okay. Hype again. They're drifted in knives out here, and Gentlemates are lapping up every single one of these. Floor going to be called upon to do something near on miraculous in a 2v5 at this point. Now a 1v5 does get the res though. 50 seconds. This is brutal. There's not much to be done. The drop of the wall coming in as well. She has to dip away. 40 seconds, and if Gentlemates are disciplined, they shouldn't be giving up anything here.
No. But it is Floor.
Yes.
30 seconds
it is
left.
That's a very good point. But this cross is looking lethal. That's a little bit of a worry there, but still, cross does get taken this time. Plant's going to come in the spam. I like the little off plant there just to secure that the spam wouldn't affect it too much. But a 2v5, you've got to have mistakes here, I've got to feel, from Gentlemates to really make this become reasonable. Floor now surely going to be dealt with. Too many targets, too little time. Done. Robbie clean with it. This is nice. This feels very heads up from Gentlemates Mini. They seemed aware of what they were going for here with Apex, and they sat passive and expected it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea from Apex that they kind of crunch through R. It means they have practiced map quite a lot. Like you don't see that often. So what they did is they dashed in from the A choke through the R, and they had 2 people pinching either side. If anyone was caught there, they were gone. But luckily for Mates, nobody there. Mates played really well towards the back of that site, didn't get caught in this exec at all. And that's how you play the A site, in my opinion. Don't get caught in this site. Just play back, keep those spams up, get those recons going.
Just got to feel this guy's going to be a superstar in the making, don't you?
It's nice to see as well, because we don't have many coming up from Tier 2 right now.
It's true. And we're going to see the economic impact now on the Apex side down to Sheriffs. And Ghost just for Floor. On the other side, looking pretty well done.
Who defined the Chico?
Me and Mike.
But surely there's one more than the other. You collaborated.
Why are you trying to split me and Mike up here, huh?
Bro, don't play talent politics with me.
Oh wow, we're bringing that in already. No, look, I'll let Mike take it. It's fine. You know, I'm nice like that. No, I'm leaving this dead silence here just because you've been really nasty. When Fnatic lose,
I'll be silent too. We could both play this game. I could play this game all day. I'm not supposed to be the good one here.
Right, well, I guess I've been put in my place. Thank you very much for that one. Let's see if we can get any of the danger back on the other side here. Floor handled well, Robbie. Yeah, so clean. This guy is an absolute animal. Lovely work from Gentlemates, unfazed here. I'd like to see almost a timeout from Apex, maybe to touch base, check in, and get them back on tracks. I feel like the game's starting to slip away from them 3 consecutive rounds now.
Yeah, and I don't think it's anything majorly strategic. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more testing towards B long, potentially. But it just feels like, just these finishers, just closing out these rounds have been a bit more difficult.
More and more we see. I was kind of eyes on Click earlier on, but it is Robbie and Mini taking over on the board here. Could be a bit of a superstar on our hands. Let's see if Click can pick up the pace a little. Prowler going to note someone willing to challenge in middle. Do we have a swing? The flash is lovely. That is heaven sent, but it's still Robbie. Every trade, every pick, he is there for the follow-up. He's confident, and he gets punished this time. Hype going to put him back in his place a little, and it's a 4v3. Finally, a player advantage for Apex.
Yeah, but I honestly have never seen that flash before. I believe that was from outside AMA.
Must have been.
Another one else still.
Add it to the list.
Add it to the list.
I'm sure the observers will be on that. I always love calling them out. They hate it. They do have a completely open run towards B here for Apex. Now, they're drifting that way. It looks like it is on the cards.
You do have the push through from the KO and the Astra.
See if they can catch a bit of timing. They might be able to catch, I'd say, Odorous potentially. They seem hesitant. This could be huge. Uh-oh. It's gone from brilliant to an absolute disaster. Zipan mauls too, but it's Odorous.
It's the coach.
Out of nowhere. Who'd have thought coaches could be this good? But there is still an issue. Mini is lingering around. We were saying how good Mini was. He was right up there with Robbie, and he's going to stay up there until the trade. Avova well positioned, keeps this one within touching distance. One survivor, that's all that they need. What's the money like, actually? I was about to check in.
I think we need to see a timer right now.
You think so?
I think so. We didn't get one last round, did we?
No, we didn't.
No? Is the button not working?
It's crazy you're saying that after I've said it so many times about Fnatic.
Hey.
Lockdown. Lockdown is there. Hype on the other side. We've got the knives to click. We've got KO's ult. We've got the Hunter's Fury. We've got a lot there.
Unfortunately here, the round they do decide to go towards B is the round that we've got
Operator.
A cheeky bait and switch setup.
Yeah, but it's so tricky to clear this as well. Click, you got to start hitting these. That's not good enough. Floor gets the punish, but do they know Kadavra? The amount of times this position gets away with daylight robbery. Does this clear it? I'm waiting to see. The timing's not on here. Floor's going to be aware, and Floor is heads up about her work. Clears another, does a good bit of chip damage towards Robbie, who couldn't quite close the gap in time. Already tethered up as well, having to respect this now with a nade on top of it, buys enough time. All these players do have their ults, but do they get a springboard in? They need someone to get that ball rolling, really, and no one's being given too much to play with. Floor getting a little hungry for that pick there. You can see her just taking a little bit of a look. Two up towards that rafter side, one down towards the connector. Knife to go in. Doesn't really hinder too much, but already one slip through. We've got Robbie on the site. Over, got to be careful. Timing's a bit tricky on this one. Floor on an island. Making it look like a holiday so far, unfazed until cleared. Now a 2v3, much better. Can they get the defuse, especially with Avova still alive, with Hype still alive? It is going to be difficult in these scenarios, but they're going to give it a go. Robbie going to try and sit the spike, and he's still doing some serious damage, but time has eluded him at this point. Does the damage, but it doesn't matter. The round is for Apex.
Yeah, I think the beginning of that round all stemmed off of Click missing that shot. Like, yeah. Apex not running the Sova that you traditionally see. Sova droning out to clear that out, and I think that is a problem when they're trying to take B long. Click should have a field day. I mean, that round maybe not, but
time to sharpen up, I guess. It can be down to something as simple as that. You can see how close it got at the end. I mean, Robbie nearly pulled it out of the bin, but if you're not going to hit that shot, that one big impact. But look at the amount of ults. We're still seeing these sat here. I'd love to see them used a little bit more, be a little bit more proactive with them, but maybe an opportunity now could come through. Already a 1-3-1 beginning for Apex.
I think on this map on defense, I quite like using these ults for the retakes towards A. Like, I don't mind kind of stacking heavier towards the B side of the map, because I think the retake on A on this map is it's pretty easy. I don't think teams quite realize it, but
go. Click again. Oh.
What?
Oh. Okay. Robbie is like the only kryptonite to Floor so far, it feels like. Click's just being deleted in a second, but Robbie is standing the test. I think he even was the one who noted Hype at the start there.
And more proactivity here from Mates again, re-clearing at the middle.
Yeah, that's nice.
Happy to play the retake of A, like I said. Good to see.
Yeah, Kadavra and Zipan can now kind of shift back towards A, knowing that mid's probably clear. I mean, there was a chance it could come out late, but this feels more likely. Ult going to come in, does at least catch one there. Zipan going to go down, and Kadavra has to respect it. I think it caught two, actually, seeing Kadavra now marked up. He is still paranoid about middle. There was that chance someone has slipped up, but lovely usage of the ult. Glad to see them implementing this. Zipan, a chance to be rezzed here, but I'm sure the time's low. Net has gone down, and the last two, I don't think there's much of a chance here for him.
Yeah, I think I was trying to allude to it. they didn't do it. They made the mistake. I think that in the VOD review, I think that they need to just play retake there. Like, there's no reason not to, in my opinion. Let the spike go down. Come in with the Killjoy ult. If they get counter Killjoy ulted, they would just Sova ulted back. Yeah, I'll just play it off the ult, play off the retake. I think Zipan was a bit desperate using his KO ult in a situation in which he's not resable. We can't use the ult in any manner. It's one of my pet peeves with KOs, honestly. Some of these KO players, they're
like
a bit panic button-y with the ult and don't really kind of use it like you would use other ults. Yeah, I like to use it with more like set retake kind of vibe.
Got you.
But yeah,
So
we'll give him the benefit of it.
Yeah, you're allowed 1 round. Any more than that?
Any more than that, and I'm...
It's over.
You're kicked, mate. From my team, anyway.
And what team would that be? No one knows. But I do see a timeout coming in. I do believe it is Gentlemates going for it. It is 3 consecutive now for Apex, so I think it's the right time to call for it. Maybe not happy with that situation, especially when it could have been played cleaner as a retake. Is that something that you'd be checking in on now, or would it be an overall sort of conversation?
I think it's mostly about how we're going to interact with these ults right now. Like, the power ults from Apex are pretty big. Like, you usually want to see like either the Killjoy ult into the KO ult for the post, or vice versa, depending on what they want to do. How are we going to deal with that? We need to problem solve that one. Like I said, I'm trying to allude to, like, I'd be more than happy to play more retakey towards A, but we don't want to be in a situation where they get the site and have these ults for post. So it's like that kind of tricky kind of situation.
Yeah, there's no like easy one singular solution. If there was, I'm sure someone would have come up with it. But I think you're right. It kind of agrees to the fact of how well Robbie's been doing at keeping that control in middle. To me, already absolute standout player here. He's been banging out shots. He has been the one to kind of keep secure any of that further space, either through art or those, you know, the double doors there. But outside of that, the sites have been lost. So let's see what the adjustment is, if there is one. And are we seeing
Seems like they're going to go for challenging towards A here. I'm surprised we don't see the Sova Robbie more towards this, because if they catch anything, he could be ulting behind it, and maybe that's what he's going towards now, hopefully. This is going to be a brawl, it looks like.
Could just be. Fancy my odds so far, but we find out, we wait. It's like a late pressure towards. It's not too early, but the knife they didn't like. Something about this they didn't like. Apex already falling away from this.
Yeah, I'm surprised mates don't go for that Sova ult kind of idea, to be honest.
If only they had Minnie the coach, rather than Minnie the player.
My Sova's not bad. Oh, that's a
okay,
big pick.
That is huge.
Pick from Click. You
Not
can
bad.
have that one.
Yeah, thank you. I'll add it to the notepad. Now, I wonder how much they're going to try and sell that this might be pressure towards that B site. I don't know if they're going to keep in mind it is going to be a split through arc, because Click's cleared this space, sees nothing further. Now they're getting a bit of pressure through towards Connector. But look at the Ravage and Apex taking the tour, taking their time. And it's a deeper hold from Zipan. He's a little bit further down Connector.
Oh,
and it's Odorous. I mean, and they had no idea they were splitting through middle like this. And now the problem started to mount, but Robbie is here. He's the one who's kept this secure, kept it safe for Gentlemates, but he's got to just outlive everyone somehow. I don't know how he's going to get away with it, but he's repositioned another fight, but he falls this time. Avova's got him. Cadaver and Mini, the last 2 alive. Mini is here, does have ult. And yet, this time, going to invest. Now, the time is running low here. Odorous, stunning shot towards middle, leaving just Mini, whose position will be noted. The plant's already in, and it's an uphill battle now. I don't think there's much more to be done.
Again, using the ult in the 2v4. I mean, I guess I'm being a bit critical, but I think how I'd highlight it is the fact that we're not in a situation to use our ults. We're dying before we're kind of getting to them. So I'd like to see them play in a way where
you actually get to capitalize on it.
I did like the push through from Click. I think that I liked the confidence. He's not started the game too hot, and keeping that confidence was good. But somehow Odorous has got his coach 300 IQ. Spinning around, one tap in.
He's just like Neo in the Matrix, reading everything. So Apex taking the lead. We do have Robbie's ult still there. Click's got his, Floor's got hers, and Hype's got his.
The ult coming out now for Floor.
Let's see how that kind of mixes things up.
Might be thrown away though.
Could be. I think they've got plenty of cash around. Maybe just expecting if there was another push-up. We saw the success off the back of Click. They could be looking to do that further. How long do they hold this though? Very aware, but it's hard to clear this. We don't have... Oh, the Fade is joining, so we do have Odorous coming over. And Now has to get a little bit closer. Nice from Kadavra, but a quick trade. You feel like the red carpet might get rolled out here. Again, proactive use of that ult coming out from Hype. Robbie's got to respect it.
I like that he's saving. He's not using the ult to kind of break it. But tricky from Apex. Not actually using it. Using it to go back B.
Area's clear.
Away we go. Mini, he's been kind of pushed around here a little bit. It's been difficult. They've ended B a couple times. It's not been easy to hold.
When you're that solo guy, though, I can't blame him.
Let's see what he can do. It is an incredibly hard position. This time, actually, Robbie trying to help out a little bit. Sends down the ult here, and Mini does a little bit of chip damage here. You can see Odorous starting to suffer. Avova, Malzy, Click trying to get involved, but it's Mini this time from the back of the side. Good trade again from Avova, keeping this one within touching distance, but it's a 3v2, favorable to Gentlemates.
Recovering it.
Now, Spike was left over towards long. Got to come back. Hype's got to go big here. That's 3 players. I thought that was a kill, and I think so did he. Zipan, though, still alive and breathing. It's all on Avova. This is rough. There's nothing to be done. Click floats on in and keeps this game as close as possible.
6-6.
You love to see it. Nice and close game between these two. Exactly what we wanted. Apex keeping up and Gentlemates looking sharp. Got to say, Robbie is an absolute legend so far, looking absolutely tip-top for this team. And of course, we do have a little bit of a treat for you guys as well. Sticking around, we are going to be jumping over towards a co-streamer, the one and only Squeezy, joined by Yinzu. You don't want to miss it.
Don't miss out.
That's right, I've got some gentle mates here alongside me, Brock, Squeezy, and Bayaz as well.
Sorry.
Gotta love the fans, gotta love the fans. Now, first of all, this is a different roster coming into this year.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you the reason for picking up some of these players.
Oh, he's the expert, actually, for the players, yeah.
So we've been trying a lot of players. And to us, it was the best roster we could have. You know, it was a little bit hard for us because we're not team partners, so it's hard to get top players of VCT and guarantee them like 2 years of contract. So because we have to keep our place this year, we got to fight. So we got the best choice we had, and we're really happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, you picked up a fantastic group of players. Now, Champions is in Paris, of course. How important will that be for you guys, knowing that it will be in France?
It's real important, of course. We really want to play the champs in Paris. I think there will be a lot of fans, so it's more pressure for the players as well. But we hope we'll be there, and they are working hard, so we're happy to be there.
You feel the same?
I feel the same. The players are really determined. They're really hyped because the champs are in Paris. They hope they can see like the whole crowd of Gentlemates, the whole fans cheering for them in Paris. They're gonna be so loud if you make it. And yeah, they're determined, and I have full trust on them, and they're gonna make it.
Now, last year your bundle was very beautiful, love it, and I think this year
and this year as well,
of course. So Bayaz, I wanted to see if you want to help your team promote the classic, get everyone to buy the bundle.
Now?
Yes.
French
to
or
the camera.
English?
Whatever you want.
Buy John. No, attends.
Try again.
Sorry les gars, non c'est bon, il fallait un petit flop, bon c'est bon.
Buy bundle Gentlemates!
Let's go!
I mean, you have to buy it now, you told you, but let's jump back into game and see if Gentlemates can close this one out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was adorable. I did like that. You know what?
Nice to see Bears.
Yeah. He sent it. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. But 6-6, let's focus back in on the game. We've got Gentlemates with a good showing so far. 6 rounds under their belt, but Apex, I got to say, in my eyes, kind of exceeding expectation, keeping this one close, but the side swap coming in. Now we get to see the kind of real labor that they put into this Gentlemates. This is their choice. I want to see them dictate the pace here. But Floor...
Let's see a massive broad mid here.
Yeah, knife going to come through, so Floor knows there's a player on that. Zipan, nice shot though, but it's Click to connect, going to find Malzy, and Zipan on the follow-up. This is looking good. It's only Floor to try and draw blood. Odorous in unison, but it's a quick response. Click lighting up the feed now. A quiet first off, but louder on the second.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Like, Click Like, there's been so many players that have been new to VCT this year, I feel like. And like, players like Click are kind of
You kind of fall by the wayside a little bit, yeah.
And then when you have like a first half, you're a bit nervous, maybe. That's exactly what we need to see from Click if they want to kind of convert this game.
Talk about confidence.
Odorous keeps getting these cheeky little...
Odorous is there.
I'm a fan.
He's second on the board currently. I know we don't talk about kills like it's the be-all and end-all, but he's second just below, well, I say just below, way below floor. But still, at this point, we've got the Vandal out for Click, we've got the Bulldog coming in for Zip, and a little bit more conservative purchase from Gentlemates in comparison to what we saw previously. So the 2 Ghosts are going to come out. Yeah, so we'll see. Last time around, we did see a bit of a wild round, so...
A very standard approach again. Very similar to what we saw in the first half.
Nothing major to report. It was a 4-stack.
I do quite like the middle setup in this anti-eco. We've got the turret ready. They had the KO flash ready if the turret kind of shot.
Trying to find Kadabra, but he's making a quick escape. Does actually get out of danger in the... Yeah, you don't get a cheeky orb. No. That's not for free. I like the try from Odorous, but does get punished. So Hype's got the entirety of Gentlemates basically on the way. A bit tough. Let's see. How much can he do here? Probably not much. You're looking at Click, trying to clear. Keep that confidence high. Be a bit of an eco-cobra in this, but as long as you don't overextend, that's a Vandal gone. I think it can be secured by Zipan, but he obviously wants to keep the Bulldog safe as well. Vova just got Kadabra. It's getting a little bit closer. I'm not worried yet. It's getting a little bit closer. It's still just that additional Ghost with the Vova. Everything else is classics. Very little util to play in as well. And the double stack towards back of the site should be able to do the job. And so far, oh my god, Vova. They made it costly, but they should at least be able to keep the Bulldog and the Vandal. So the vast majority of the investment is still there.
Yeah, I wasn't as worried with the... we saw Apex were going for like safe plants quite a lot on that B side of the map, but Apex are getting away with the kind of open plant there. So if they continue with that, I'm not as worried about those post plants. But yeah, a little bit too costly.
Seeing now what we have on the attack coming into a bit of a bonus. Seeing here, it's pretty well rounded. Just wait and see what the purchase is completely okay. So it does seem they're going to end on the Sheriff there with the Ghost still, 2 Vandals, and that Bulldog, of course, remaining. On the other side, everything's there. Only light shields on Hype, but no ults massively close by. I mean, Avova's maybe 2 away.
Avova with disinformation. Nothing on that knife.
This is going to be wild. Yeah, outdone completely. Click is heating up here. Blazing away forward. Odorous needs to make the right choices here. Do you stand and fight or do you dip away? Already Click going to be springboarded back here. Mini works his way in, but his floor with 1 and only 1. Zipan, good spacing, good trading. And this is working out so well in this bonus round. Mozzie and Hype, a little too far away to do much about this now. Going to have to try and work their way back in, or do you just call it off already?
We'll look for the frag. See if we can get it.
They're going to know where Robbie is, but can you do anything about it? Yeah, they're getting close enough by. Gentlemates don't want to leave him on his own, and they don't. They stand together. And Mozzie, his decision's made for him. Time to back away. This is going to be the 9th for Gentlemates, and it was clear that one. Very, very direct approach. Once they got past pretty much Avova, it was the red carpet rolled out.
But yeah, like I said, it was like just the simple adaptation of waiting for that knife and then just contacting after it. Kind of caught Avova by surprise. Kind of thing that you hope you wouldn't get caught by, but I mean, a good adjustment by Meds, to be honest. It's a good call.
That's 4 alive as well. Money's going to start really getting robust. You're already seeing them up towards 5k, 6k. It's looking good. Knives there for Click. And of course, financially, Apex back in the doldrums. Suffering, they get that 1 rifle left on Mozzie. Floor not close enough to the knives here. Knives are on for Click as well, so he's catching up. How much can they get in this one, though? That 1 hero Vandal is going to be difficult to bring in. Very
interesting that it's on Mozzie.
Are you of the artist mentality?
I know. What's the artist mentality?
It should be floors.
Yep.
Yep. I'm also with you on that. But you know what? We listen and we don't judge.
Wait, when did artists say that?
I don't know. I was just on TikTok at some point. I don't want to discuss my... well, that's maybe why it's on floor. That feels toxic. Take that back. I take it back. I completely take it back. I'm being really mean. Nah, I'm being mean. I didn't mean to be. I apologize. For now, gentlemen, so this is great for them. This is really, really clear. It will be picked up this time. Avova's got it. Flipped over towards floor. And away we go. But the B site completely under the banner of Gentlemates. Super clean work. Spike's on the way. It's a little bit further out, but that's fine. Odorous, you're not good. Turrets. Doing its job. It's going to be very difficult to do much more.
Prioritizing the Astra ult over the KO, I would do it either way around, but maybe they got some juicy Astra ult strap.
Show me what you got, Flo. Not easy. One on the side, one towards the back, two towards long. Leg shown, that's Robbie. Double swing. Oh, it's clean, good control, but it was, you look at the spacing here, Gentlemates aren't allowing for that individual impact to really pick up, and it's dealt with in the end. Avova gonna go down. We have 4 standing, the ults are coming through. Everything looking great for Gentlemates.
Yep, perfect time for the timeout.
Yeah, what would you be discussing? I mean, it's 4 in a row. You've not really had much say in these rounds, it feels like. It's been quite concise, it's been kind of very direct. How do you try and get back into the game? What are you meant to do at this point? It feels like you haven't had much play, but the problem is it's already 10 rounds against you.
I mean, I'm cheating because I know what they're going to do, but the operator coming out here is I think they should buy the operator panel.
Really?
Yeah, I think floor on the ult might be maybe the adjustment they need.
Hey, okay.
But like I said, they prioritize. Oh, they're loud.
Yeah. French. What? They're loud!
The Astra ult was prioritized last round, which signals to me that they got something cooked with that.
Okay.
Typically, you'd see it towards the B side of the map, because you could play the offsite post, which would be quite juicy.
Okay, so it's a couple things to look out for. Is what do they want to do with Flora in that up? I guess because that's whatever solution it is.
One sec, but they can't play offsite post because there's an Astra on the other side. Ignore me. I'm a terrible coach.
It's unbelievable.
Fire me.
Yeah,
I can't even.
I can't even take you away from Fnatic. You're already gone. But as you said, for Gentlemates, we want to keep eyes on Cadaver's Ox. Rightly said, that was prioritized, which is it is an active choice. Let's see what the plan is. If it may be coming this round, maybe not. You'd imagine it would come through soon if they're going to prioritize it this early, but also where does Floor position in this?
Yeah, I thought they'd position Floor towards A. We've seen a lot of the A control. Maybe like wait out towards the stairs and then go for a peek, but just towards the B. Going to be kind of controlling that lane.
I feel like Gentlemates might be aware that this is the answer.
Placing swamp
passive they've been out, you know.
So
it's tricky. Off the rim. It's tough. But they're being patient, maybe expecting aggression or a deeper angle, so they're going to have to invest a little bit more utility early to clear these spaces.
Yeah, they're not getting anything though, so it'll be interesting to see what mid-round they can go for. So far we haven't really seen much. It's all about A main right now for these teams. And the call has been made, it looks like. We're going to group up into an AX sec.
Over. Gotta play
Robbie
this.
BK going for a little fake towards this speed link potentially. Trying to drag the rotation across.
I don't say he's pulled the third player over. I don't think he has. I'm kind of keeping eyes on where Molsey goes. He's kind of tracking back towards A, so maybe putting a question mark towards your mid presence, but that's about it. Knives gonna go out, and there's the divide. This is what we were, I mean, I don't want to say expecting, but you said they prioritized it. This was the plan. Go for a 20-second, 30-second hit towards that A site. Avova's still around though, and Click was completely blind. These flashes have been stunning. It's got to be from Molsey. That was perfect. The reveal very good as well, but Avova going to be dealt with. Mini's there. Robbie's there. Hype going to come back in, try to make that pressure happen, but swung on by 3. Odorous goes down. The floor's on the site, and that's got to go absolutely nuclear. And she does! Love her, hate her, it doesn't matter. You've got to respect her. That's a 7 for Apex, keeping them in this game.
I was about to say, maybe she shouldn't have got the knives there.
Don't be doubting. We don't doubt in this house.
Nope. Yeah.
Red Bull clutch and a half. But these flashes, we've been talking about the flashes leading up. Some of these have been really nice, just catching, Click in the air in this, kind of playing it back through.
The transfer mates were phenomenal. It's just floor. Beautiful.
Come on!
You're so good.
Come on, bro. Like we were discussing before the game how much of a Euro lover I am in this map.
Yeah.
The comfort from Click and for Fluorescent is the gem of this map, and I can't really deny it when I see stuff like that.
Yeah, I think like to that extent, right? If you're talking about a player who maybe doesn't peak as high, you'd kind of maybe be like, okay, I think it's time to switch. But yeah, with these two, I feel like comfort kind of reigns king. Floor's still going to have the operator here and very much close towards that B site, so we're going to see a challenge on this. Of course, they can kind of feign it with Cadaver's smokes
It's
here.
difficult like, with the drone from BK. BK? Can I go with BK? Are we on BK terms?
I don't know if you know it like that. And Floor is going to be forced off the first angle, so they do get to progress slightly. That's a little bit of a jump spot. Don't know how much she saw on that, but going to be still playing a little bit deeper. There's a pop flash potential through the smoke. You just heard it then. Click's going to move up, but is hype catching Mini. Maybe a blind shot or something. I'm not sure where he found the space on that.
Early lurk from Mini. A little bit too early.
It's unfortunate. 5v4 now, but Click trying to get active, and they're looking to take back space. I quite like this. Get proactive. Soverod's there, but already there's still a player on the other side. I thought Odorous was good for that, but no. Dealt with. That's stunning from Gentlemates. Getting really rowdy towards the site floor, though. Temptation beckoning from above, but it is a 3v4. She doesn't have to do it all herself. Has teammates here to ask a little bit of a question of shot what rattles out. We're going to have the knife coming through. Plant is in, though, trying to clear a couple of those common spots.
I think the retake's tough, though, with this operator.
And look how close they're playing as well. Robbie, right close by. Avova going to step forward and steps in. Click! It's outrageous from him. Putting Mosey in a 1v3. And the flash, they turned it. They were ready. Gentlemates answer back so perfectly.
I really loved that proactive push through on the B link there. Like, that's not the kind of thing you can plan. That's all audible.
A nice audible.
Like, I'm going to presume it's Robbie.
Yeah, you'd imagine
Get
so, right?
close, I'm going to ult boys as well.
We've seen a couple of those nice audibles as well coming out from Gentlemates, which
That's
is
a very good sign.
Yeah.
Come on! What are you guys doing? Who's IGL? What are you guys doing?
Oh! Oh! I think I'm getting two favourites out of this game.
Would you be good at that, you think? The
Well,
kind of, would
give
you
it.
be, yeah.
There's footage.
You've got
There's footage. I'm gonna pick LAN at some point. We don't need to return to those days. I probably would be cancelled. As it stands, we have no armor, which is a bit rough for Apex because this is out. The Click. Zipan gonna do the floor. Okay, good. Farm, there we go. Nice. That's site's open. Come on over, boys. Well, the job done, and I think it's kind of good that we touch back towards Click as well, that you were kind of talking about, is that he did have a bit of a rough start.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't the, you know, welcome to the big leagues, cool, suddenly I'm hitting everything I want. It was pretty shaky. But seeing how well he's gone back into this game and that confidence building, especially in the second half here, is really good signs for the young player.
Yeah, I think I said it quite a lot, like especially when we played with, one second. With substitutes, like, it doesn't, the first game is the first game. Like,
shake it off.
Like the first cast yesterday. You shake off the nerves a little bit afterwards. Like, it's not all about, you know, that first game. It's a long season.
It is. Now, there we go. Nice again from Click. This is good. And it is against a team with no shield, so you're kind of expecting this sort of stuff. Whoop! Got close there. And yeah, they're getting cocky, still confident.
My ult's ready.
Malsey gonna get his ult off this. I mean, he'll probably got it anyway, but still. Gentlemates there, getting themselves up towards 12. Strong on this side so far. And Apex backs to the wall now. They have every ult pretty much they need, excluding Floors. So now it's kind of, so it shows what you got here. If you had a plan in mind with these ults, with what they've got coming in, this is the time to show it.
It's really good for it's a really good sign that the attack side is where, like we highlighted Robbie already as the IGL. Yes. He is fragging, but like the IGL aspect, like on defense, it's kind of harder to see the impact of the IGL. I don't know if he's calling the rotations. I don't know what's going on, but if you're farming the attack side, it's kind of hard not to kind of give him kudos.
No, I think I knew coming into this game I'd always be able to enjoy watching Floor play, but I think Robbie's joining that sort of band. He is a real treat to watch individually, and again, that mid-rounding, right, has been absolutely on the money. Some of those nice audibles, you know, going for that aggressive play, I'd love to make sure that was his goal, because I feel like it would be, again, especially when you add in that there was the Soverall on top. So that's something that's just, you know, such a treat to watch from a younger, upcoming player as well, but I don't know if there's a slam dunk execute they could hit on this, but with those ults, you've got to feel that Apex will have something to lean on.
I mean, a round like this for Gentlemates in the timeout, you kind of expect to lose this round in a way.
You'd imagine so, right?
The goal of this round, I'd be calling, is that we want them to use their ults. Make it as hard as possible for them in the future rounds. Like, we don't want them using 1 or 0 ults and then kind of building up. Like, a safety net, almost.
Yeah.
So if we can bait them at this round, that's going to be a good condition for mates for the rest of this game.
But 3 players are on that B side. And you see him when Gentlemates currently exist. See if I'm going to get nothing off the knife. And then they go to check middle.
A curious way to play with the ults, though. Setting up floor deep.
Yeah. I guess they can cheat the rotation over after that.
I'm hoping is to just go for what I was calling for in the first half, just using these ults for the retake on A. It's more than acceptable.
See, I doubt they can
don't want
reach
them
outside of
over
over.
here.
That's
Nope.
yeah. He got a little close to the smoke there for my taste, and I got a little bit worried. You can see Odorous there with the ult. Is this a pre?
The only issue is we need to get that KO ult down because the Killjoy ult is now down. It's going to be a bit weird.
Oh, and Click just clearing out by Pit. Avova did get Robbie down, so I guess that's one step here, and they can potentially get a res on that, but obviously not with this ult going through. And Avova's been caught. A little unlucky on that. And they're still playing site here, Gentlemates. 3 players actually got caught on that ult. That's wild. They've got to start going, but Click still controlling this. Floor tries to make a shot happen, but dealt with by Cadaver, and now it's down towards Avova. Surely this is done. Map 1 looking likely, but a 1v3, it ain't impossible, it's just improbable. And Avova steps closer, but it's Click to close as Gentlemates get their first map win under the belt here. Lovely form there, Mini. I liked what we saw.
Yeah, beautiful attack side from the Robbie BK masterclass. Floor, though? Great game from Floor.
Absolutely was, and we'll be back after the break. Do not go anywhere. We have Haven coming up next.
What are you guys doing?
Red Bull gives you wings.